enormously early humans in a statistically extraordinary position. Can we believe in this? Isn't this like believing that we're the very first intelligent species to evolve in the entire universe, which seems such a stupid hypothesis? If the human race managed to destroy itself very quickly, then something like 1 in 10 humans would have been alive at the same time as you and me, because of the recent population explosion. That makes us pretty average, 1 in 10 people. If we manage to colonize the galaxy, that makes us in the 1 in a billion class, something like that. An extraordinary position. This gives a new reason for pessimism.
So let's put that on the table. The statistical likelihood that we are not this extraordinarily small early sample of humanity, which puts a spotlight on our current situation and saying, are we now vulnerable to species destroying events, either our own cause or caused upon us, that perhaps we are not aware of?
Yeah. I think that what this doomsday argument does is to magnify any risks which we see. If we were tending to take these risks not very seriously, having looked at this argument, we should take them much more seriously than before. And we also ought to take seriously that there are some risks which we simply haven't thought of. We ought to keep our eyes open very carefully.
The doomsday argument is based on a simple premise. In any situation, unless there's evidence to the contrary, we should always consider ourselves average. If the human race would last millions of years and spawn trillions of human beings, perhaps throughout the galaxy, then we would be living in the very earliest stages of human history. But statistically, that would seem unexpected. Why would we be not average? One reason, of course, is that somebody has to be not average. But the more likely reason, goes the doomsday argument, is that we are average, which would mean that we are not living so early in human history, which would mean that human history will not be lasting very much longer. My reaction, as with almost everyone who hears the argument, is that there must be something wrong with it. How could such potent conclusions be deduced from such flimsy premises? I saw that the doomsday argument was developed independently in different ways. Brandon Carter was the first, enriched by John Leslie. A second was a professor of astrophysical sciences at Princeton, J. Richard Gott. How did Richard frame the doomsday argument?
Well, this started with a trip I made to the Berlin Wall in 1969. People wondered how long it would last. Was it a permanent fixture of modern Europe, or would it disappear in the near future? So I was there with a friend of mine, and I made the following prediction. I said, look, I'll use the Copernican principle. It's the idea we use in astronomy that your location isn't likely to be special. As we've discovered, we do not live in a special place at the center of the universe. We're going around an ordinary star in an ordinary galaxy in an ordinary supercluster. The Copernican principle works because out of all the places for you to be, there are many non-special places and only a few special places. So you're likely to be at one of the many non-special places. So I made the following argument. I said, I'm here looking at the Berlin Wall. I'm somewhere between the beginning and the end of the Berlin Wall. And if my location isn't special, there's a 50% chance I'm in the middle 2 quarters. And if I'm at the beginning of that middle 2 quarters, then there's 1 quarter that's passed already and 3 quarters in the future. So the future is 3 times as long as the past. On the other hand, if I'm at the end of that middle 2 quarters, I got 3 quarters of the past and 1 quarter in the future. So the future is 1/3 as long as the past. So there's a 50% chance that you're within the middle 2 quarters, you're between those 2 limits, and that the future of the wall will be between 1/3 and 3 times as long as its past. So the wall was 8 years old at the time. So I said to my friend, look, there's a 50% chance it'll last at least 2 2/3 years, that's 8 divided by 3, but less than 24 years, which is 8 times 3. So 20 years later, in 1989, I called him up. I said, Chuck, turn on the TV. Tom Brokaw is at the wall. They're bringing it down today. You remember this prediction that I made. So it came 20 years later, within the two limits. So when this turned out, I thought, well, I should write this up. So when scientists write up predictions, though, we like to be 95% correct, not just 50% correct. So how does this argument change? Well, it says that if you're looking somewhere between the beginning and the end, there's a 95% chance you're in the middle 95%. In other words, not in the first 2.5%, not in the last 2.5%, but somewhere in this big 95% region. So 2.5% is 1/40th. 2.5% is 1/40th of the total. So if you're over here at this limit, then this 1/40th has passed and 39/40ths are still in the future. So the future is 39 times as long as the past. On the other hand, if you're way over here, still within the middle 95%, there's 1/40th in the future and 39/40ths in the past. So in that case, the future is 1/39th as long as the past. So the 95% confidence prediction is the future of the thing you're looking at will be between 1/39th and 39 times as long as you've been observing it in the past. Okay. So I thought I'd apply this to something important, the future of the human race. We've been around for 200,000 years. That's back to mitochondrial Eve. That's our species, Homo sapiens. Well, 1/39th of that is 5,100 years. So this says we'll last 95% sure, we'll last at least 5,100 years, but less than 39 times that, or 7.8 million years. So we'll last somewhere between another 5,100 years, but less than 7.8 million years. Now, that's very interesting because it's calculated solely on our past lifetime as an intelligent species. But interestingly, that gives us a predicted longevity of between 205,000 years at the short end and 8 million years at the long end. That's quite similar to other mammal species that are here on Earth. Their mean longevity is 2 million years. And Homo erectus, our previous species, lasted about 1.8 million years. And the Neanderthals, they lasted about 300,000 years. So these numbers are quite similar. And yet the calculation is only based on our past longevity. So it should give us pause that our past longevity suggests that we may be in as much danger as these other species.
Perhaps we should take some steps to propagate the human race away from Earth.
Well, yes. One of the things that you notice is that we're having this conversation on the Earth. This is not good because if we don't colonize off the Earth, you and I are entirely typical. Everyone born would be born on the Earth. If we colonize the whole galaxy, you see, in the future, you and I would be very lucky to live on the very first planet when there were like 1 billion planets that we'd colonize. So it warns us that if our observations are typical, there's a significant chance that we would get stranded on the Earth. And it's better to have more locations. So it's a great life insurance policy for us to plant a colony on Mars because that would give us 2 chances. And so right now, I mean, there's lots of threats. So we're kind of like on the Titanic and we've got no lifeboats. So we should have some lifeboats. It's smart for us to spread out.